Hey, what's up, boxing fans? This is the Rope-A-Dope Report. I am your host, Chris Carlson, and we have a news and prediction episode today. So we're going to talk a little news, and then I got two fights that I'm going to make quick predictions on. All right, let's get right into it. May 30th, coming up here kind of soon. Supposedly, they're trying to put a fight together with Alfredo El Perro Angulo versus Kermit Cintrone. Now, Cintrone, I'm not a fan of lately. I think he hasn't beaten too many solid fighters at all. You know, it's too bad if Margarito had the plaster on with those two losses. Then I'm like, okay, well, then you're a pretty good fighter. But this last fight that he had with Martinez, you know, he got real lucky to get a draw. Then he's saying he should have won. So I'm not a huge fan with him, but I'll tell you what, Angulo versus Cintrone, I think is a good matchup. I think it's a big stepping stone for Cintrone, or not Cintrone, it's Angulo. Big stepping stone for him because the guy's going to sit there and throw. We're going to find out who's the better brawler that night. And obviously Cintrone, this is a way for him to get back into it, beating a young up-and-comer. Now on that same card, Andre Berto, the undefeated welterweight, is supposedly fighting a combination of opponents that same night. He is going to fight that night. They just don't know if it's Juan Urango, the champion at 140. I heard like the money is so-so with that. They don't know if that's going to work. But I also heard Zab Judah, and I know, oh, Zab Judah. But honestly, I think Berto needs the work. You know how Zab for the first 4 to 6 rounds will put on a good show and then fade? I think that's perfect for him. He needs more work. It allows him to face a welterweight that's not a top-tier guy like Mosley or Cotto or, you know, one of those guys. So I think it's a nice stepping stone fight for him and just a good night in general. All right, let's move on. Now here's the messed up in the 154 division. Okay, to figure out who the champ is, I can't remember if it's WBC or WBA, whatever. Vernon Forrest and Sergio Martinez signed a contract. Okay, they were going to fight in either like August sometime. But before that, both of them were free to take a fight. Now, a lot of times you'd think it'd be just a solid tune-up. Well, supposedly Vernon Forrest is now signed with Arthur Abraham, the champ at 160, the undefeated champ. A lot of people want to see Abraham against Pavlik. So Vernon Forrest took that fight maybe. So he's just messing Martinez all up. I think in the end of this, you know, obviously Forrest is old, so he's trying to get his money and get his biggest fight. So he may end up screwing this Martinez and just giving that belt away to Martinez. It's too bad because ever since I think 2000 or 2001, Martinez lost to Margarito, and he's been unbeaten since. And like I said, that last draw with Cintrone, that was a win for him. So anyway, I think you know, let's hope that mess gets all, you know, figured out. I'm not sure what's going on, but that's the news as of now. All right, now I talked earlier, and I think a lot of people know about James Kirkland and Victor Ortiz. Both of them are going to be on the same card. Let me get the date right. June 27th. It's an HBO After Dark. They're both going for titles. Actually, both are owned by Golden Boy, and then the Ukrainians, both title holders in 140 and 154, they're actually German-based, and I believe they have the same representation as well. So hopefully Golden Boy, and I can't remember the name who owns them, but hopefully they can get it together. So you have two vets going against two young guys for titles. So that's a great night, right? Well, supposedly the Rocky Juarez and Chris John fight, that really controversial draw that I thought Chris John won, they're trying to get a rematch for that. Well, obviously, Chris John doesn't want to do it in the hometown Rocky Juarez, Houston, but they want to fight in L.A. So they're talking about a triple header at Staples Center. Or who knows? Maybe it'll be in an outdoor venue. But either way, that's another free triple header. So let's hope that happens. It looks pretty good right now because Chris John wants to stay in America and fight now that he's here, and he gave himself a good showing. And who knows, Rocky, maybe he learned some more stuff in that fight, and it's, you know, even tighter fight because it was a good scrap. Really, Rocky just throw more punches. Anyway, all right, that was the news. Now let's get to predictions. All right, Eddie Chambers versus Sam Peter. I'm going to go with the old vet, even though he looked horrible against Vitaly Klitschko not too long ago, I believe in October. I think this is going to be a bounce back for him. This is maybe going to be one of his last bounce backs. I think Eddie Chambers, you know, he's young. I think he's 26. He has one loss, but he just hasn't fought any talent. or hardly any talent compared to Peter. So I'm going with Peter. That's March 27th. I'll have a box score for that. And then we're going to go Timothy Bradley, 140-pounder. He's a title holder. He's going against Kendall Holt. He's also a title holder. So basically, it's going to be a unification, I believe, because I'm pretty sure Kendall Holt has that title that he got from Torres. In this one, you know, Kendall Holt's a good fighter. He's not the smartest fighter, but he's fun to watch. He'll brawl with you. He can box. He's got pretty fast hands. I do believe that the boxer, though, the straight boxer, doesn't have a lot of power. Has some pop, but not a lot of power. I'm talking about Timothy Bradley. I think he'll pull that off. So I'm going to go with Bradley on April 4th. And just so you know, this weekend, okay, Gomez-Klitschko. I already did a preview for that. From this weekend, basically the 21st, all the way through every single solitary Saturday, except Gamboa, I think April 17th. Actually, let me just go down the list. March 27th, the Peter Chambers. April 4th, there's a lightweight tournament. It's called Lightweight Lightning. 4 solid fights. I'm going to have the box score for that. There's also the Bradley Holt that night. I'll have the box score for that. So March 21st, March 27th, April 4th, April 11th is the Winky Wright Paul Williams and the Areola McCline on the undercard. I'm going to have a box score for that. April 17th, Gamboa. We all know him, the Cuban fighter. He's fighting Rojas for a kind of an interim title type thing. So I'll have a box score for that. April 25th, I'll have 2 box scores. One for Pinelosa versus Lopez for the 122 belt. Lopez's belt, Juan Manuel Lopez, the young Puerto Rican fighter. And then that night, Froch and Taylor. So I'm going to have 2 different box scores for that. Or maybe just all purpose, I'm not sure. And obviously the Pacquiao-Hatton fight, I'm going to have the full card, full box score. So basically this Saturday and all the way till, what is that, May 2nd? Yeah, May 2nd. I'm going to have the box scores each and every weekend. So look out for that. This was another episode, a news/prediction episode of the Rope-A-Dope Report. I am your host, Chris Carlson. Peace.